Hi everyone, welcome. You're live now. Welcome. Oh my goodness me, what a week. Well, today we're talking about, protecting your woman. Why? Because of what happened recently. I hope you all know what is happening around you. It's been crazy. I'm going to try and share the video for those who are not aware of what is happening around them. I know sometimes I'm one of those people because I don't follow celeb gossip. So let's see. Let me see if I could share this. Okay.
And two, can't wait to see it. All right?
Will Smith laughs. Jada Pinkett Smith is stunned. Seconds before this,
Oh, wow.
the slap heard around the world, and the parts bleeped out afterwards.
Keep my wife's name out your
Oh, I thought it was sharing. Sorry.
Okay?
Smith was enraged by the
let me
G.I.
start
Jane
that
reference
again.
because of
My
his wife's
bad.
hair loss from alopecia.
Let's start it from there.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Will Smith laughs. Jada Pinkett Smith is stunned. Seconds before this,
Oh, wow.
the slap heard around the world, and the parts bleeped out afterwards.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth. I'm going to, okay?
Smith was enraged by
Well, that is what was happening before. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? What happened? That's what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about protecting your woman. The people who think women are being hypocritical, supporting something that is, essentially bad. So that's what we're talking about today, and see where we stand. Yeah. Okay. So tag your friends, tell them you're on. I'm Nicole Hanselman. This is your platform, Success Your Way movement. I can see my guest hasn't made it yet, but I hope they do make it. Today, we want to talk about sad things. We want to talk about protecting your man. And I'm going to share my story, and then you tell me if, in that case, somebody is justified to hit somebody. So, yeah, welcome, guys. I hope my guest makes it today. It will be brilliant to have them around. So, yes, Will Smith, a legend, an icon, he ended up hitting Chris Rock. And the whole world is talking about it. Why are we talking about it? Why should we talk about it? I know people are forgetting about 2 days, but why should we talk about it? Yeah. So yeah, welcome, guys. Who is on? Who is on today? The clocks did go forward, so it's 6 o'clock now in UK, meaning it's 8 o'clock in Kenya. Same time for Kenyans, different times for us. Welcome, guys. Say hello to me when you join. Say hello so that I know you're here. I've just shared the video for those who missed of what happened this week and what triggered today's topic, protecting your man. So hello, and welcome. Do say hello to me and where you're joining me from. Cool. Let me see what I can find, my guest. If not, we'll just go ahead and have a little bit of a chit chat today. So, say hello to me so that I know you're joining on. If it's your first time here, welcome. Feel at home, feel free. We are a nice big family. It's a safe place to talk about what is in your minds. Yeah. So, yeah, karibuni, karibuni, karibuni. My guest seemed to, she will make it. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Who is behind you? Who is still like, what is happening? What are people talking about? What is this about Will Smith and Chris? What is happening? I'm sometimes that kind of a person because I don't follow celeb gossip that much. But this one was not to miss at all. So here we are. This one was not to miss. Cool. Asanteni, say hello to me. And then I can just start. As long as one person says hello to me, we're good to go. Always happy with that. Always happy with that. Say hello, then start, and then wait for my guest. She'll find us already on because I don't like taking too long. An hour is usually good enough for me. Say hello to me, say hello to me so that I know you're joining me. Well, I enjoy my probably second cup of coffee for today. I've been busy, busy girl. Hope it doesn't mess my face up. I want to drink it with style, but it's not allowing me. Hello, guys. Hello, hello. If you're on, tag your friends. Sometimes they do forget when you're on or miss it. So do tag your friends and tell them you're on. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, what is your view? What happened? What is your view? Was Will Smith right? What is your view? I can see somebody made it here. What is your view? I'm going to welcome one of our guests. The other one will be joining us soon, and then we can get on with it because I don't like being here for too long. An hour is enough for me to run out of saliva. Hi, you.
Hi, what's up?
The sky,
Yeah,
and
good, good,
you,
good, good.
maybe. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
I can see you dressed as if it's winter. You,
Yeah, sort of. I'm still in winter anyway. How are you?
I am good. The sun did come out, and then now it decided to go back to winter. It's
You
crazy.
see now, that's the problem. Yeah, but otherwise, you're
Yeah,
doing good.
yeah, I'm well. We get on with it. We can't complain about the weather. There's nothing much we can do about it.
That's true.
Introduce yourself, please, just in case there's some people who still don't know who you are and what you do, what you get up to.
That's too much, man. Okay. Anyway, my name is Daud. DDC, which stands for Daud Dewachmonyo. Um, I'm like, I enjoy talking, so I do talk shows as well, Mondays and Fridays. So that's the
Yeah,
way it is. That's where how we connect with people.
yeah. I love your talk show. It's so brilliant, and it does tackle everyday topics, and it does attract viewership in that regard because it's things that are affecting real people at real time. Yeah, but
Yeah, we,
unfortunately, I can't
yeah,
join for too long. Mm?
yeah. We try, because we have got so much that is going around as people. So we try to talk about real life matters like
Yeah,
what you're doing today. So
yeah,
that's the way how we learn and grow as people. So at times we need to address some of these things.
yeah. I do like it. It's just that sometimes I miss out on some of the discussions. When you switch to your language, I'm like, okay, now I don't even know what you're talking about. I think you're still talking about something else. but then I miss out. So welcome and thank you for being here with me. Yeah.
No, thanks. That's fine.
Oh, it's still sharing my screen. Oh, sorry. I was still sharing my screen. I thought it had stopped.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's all right. Okay, we are here. What is your stand? Simple question. You're in court. Yes or no answer kind of thing. Was Will right in hitting Chris?
Yes, it was right.
In one word,
That's
yes, you were right.
sorry.
In one word, yes, he was right.
You want me to define why
No,
I
I just
stand?
wanted one word first. I'm seeing, hello, you. I look at you.
Hi. Thank you. How are
Oh,
you?
Why? How are you?
Hi.
yeah.
Good.
Introduce yourself. Then we were already starting off. Introduce yourself, then we
Oh,
start.
sorry I'm late. Hi everyone. I'm Jenemy Obin. Sorry I'm late. I'm a psychologist by profession, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, nice.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah,
Pleasure
that's
is all
the.
mine.
So I wanted to ask you something. Do you find yourself psychoanalyzing people as a psychiatrist,
A
or do you not?
psychologist. Yes, I do. It's like if you have, I usually give this people this explanation. If you have a doctor parent and you say you have a headache, they're likely to, by nature, they're likely to ask you, since when did you have this headache? Have you taken water today? Because
Yeah.
it becomes more than just a profession, because it becomes like part of just who you are. So yes, I find myself psychoanalyzing people,
Second
inclusive
nature.
of my parents. Yeah.
It becomes second nature. Yeah. So anyway, that's DDC. Just introduced himself. He also has a talk show, and his talk show talks about such issues, everyday lives. Wife beating husband, not satisfied in bed. Don't know, size matters. Those are his topics. But me, I lean on life coaching side of topics. But I thought this is a very important thing for us to learn. You're laughing. Those are your topics, isn't it? People send you really weird
No,
questions.
no. Let me clarify this.
Go on and clarify.
Yeah, this is what people bring to me to discuss
Mm,
about real life issues that are affecting people.
mm,
But it's more like what she's saying, it's more related
mm.
to sex because we are all adults. So, intimates, all that kind of stuff. So it involves couples in most cases.
Yeah, yeah. And you guys also managed to talk about this will thing this week, and I was like, "Yeah, you come on. I want you on my show. I really want you on your show because I like different perspective, and it's good to have a man sometimes because as women we'll talk about from our side. And today we want to talk about such things as are we women being hypocritical now? Because now we are divided. We want to analyze all those things as much as possible. So my first question that I'd asked, Jan, before you came on is that in just one word, you're in court and you're just told it's a yes or no answer. Was Will Smith right by hitting Chris?
Was he right hitting Chris?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's nice because we'll have different views on this matter. So we'll come to all that. We'll come to all that. It's nice so that we see all these things. Did you see? Now you go ahead and explain.
Ah, well, like what you've said, people have different
Mm,
perception, different views,
mhm,
different opinions.
mhm,
Best.
mm,
Now, these opinions, for me,
mm,
they are now coming on people who have reflected on the incident.
mm,
Right. So now
mm,
that's what we're trying to distinguish. Was he right? Was he wrong? Because we have
mhm,
reflected, we have
mm,
the thought process, we thought
mm,
about it
mm,
and evaluate. Then some they're saying is right, some they're saying is wrong. But
mm,
if you were in his shoes in that moment in time, that's what I call an instant reaction, where boom, you've done what you've done. Then after a while, you sit down and said, "Oh, wow, why did I do it?" Right. But from my own personal stance, me, without reflecting what he has done, I would have done the same. Why? That's my role as a man, to defend my person, my woman, my family, my children. I cannot stand somebody trying to humiliate, trying to embarrass, trying to undress my person in public. No. For me personally, I won't do that. What he did, he didn't even hit him. That was a slap. You know, when you smack your child, stop it. What you're doing is nonsense, right? That was a slap to say, stop. You have gone too far. This is my own perception. This is what I think. And I would have done the same.
Jan.
My answer first was based on your question. And I'd like to use your question to give my reasoning. You asked me if Will hitting Chris was right. The reason why I said no is because I don't advocate for violence. I think that there's different ways that people can solve conflicts or, do stuff. So if you asked me if Will was right to defend his wife, I would have said yes, he was. But you asked me if hitting Chris was right.
Oh, I interchanged that. Okay, I used the wrong word. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I advocate for men defending their wives and protecting them at all costs, because I think that's a man's role, like he has said, and I agree with him on that part. But I feel like when you watch the video, there's a part where he says, "Don't talk about my wife. Like get my wife out of your mouth."
Yeah.
And maybe, like he has said, I'm thinking about it, because maybe in that moment I would have acted differently. But what if he had started with telling him, "Look, stop talking about my wife"? Like, what if he started with that? What if he said, "Look, stop talking about my wife," before walking up to the stage and hitting him?
Yeah.
Maybe from there he would have stopped. And and if Chris continued, then he walked up to the stage and hit him. I think he would be justified, but I have a totally different perspective on all of this. But go on.
We want to hear it, because you have to consider, coming back to you, DDC, you have to consider that he walked from his chair. So if it was a murder case, it's almost like premeditated. He had the time to walk to him. If somebody's by you, it's a different thing. Reflex action, poof, pam, But he literally walked in an audience full of people. He blanked everybody out to be able to do that act, to perform that act. So I wanted to share my story, and then we bring this story back and see when it comes to defending your man. Literally put yourself in this shoe. So my ex, we went out in a pub, and we were having fun and stuff. I'm a kind of person who goes out to have fun. Nothing else, no. If you're not having fun, just leave it. Yeah, I'd rather just stay at home. If drinking makes you violent, then let's not drink. Forget about it. So he has a background of he had done boxing. He had come from a very rough area, rough childhood. I don't want to mention the country, but it's not Africa. And so it was really rough. And so he had all these things, and he also experienced abuse to some extent in his own family, where his dad was really like an abusive kind of person. So he has all this baggage carrying him. So he had this, protect my girlfriend, protect my wife, protect my spouse thinking about him. We went out in a pub, and somebody, a group of guys, and there was a lady and stuff, asked us to join them in like a dance circle or something of the sort. And if you know, when people are having fun and people cheer you up, oh, go on, go on. So I joined. I don't tend to like something, but I did join. And then they are laughing and stuff, and somebody smacked my bottom in front of a lot of people. Sorry, not everybody. And I was so in shock that I didn't know how to react at all. And he was there going after that person, and I knew the kind of person he was. I had to stop him. So I forgot about my own violation to stop him from causing a fight. And later on, it caused an argument between us because he felt that I didn't let him do something that he felt was necessary there and then. And I'm like, I don't like violence. So I wouldn't have let you do it anyway. So he was mad. And when he was talking to his brother was like, no, there's nothing no, that's nothing. We don't talk. We don't discuss that. You smack my girlfriend's bottom, I kill you there and then. So what do you think in this situation? Let's start with the man. What do you think in that situation? What would you have done as a man witnessing that? You're right there. You're not even far. You're right there.
Okay. You say now, this is what I've said from the onset. Like, for me personally, right? If you want to disrespect me, play around with my woman, play around with my family, play around with my kids. That's too deep for me. You can come after me, say whatever you want to say about me. I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
Until when you put your finger in my nostril, that's when you see how I will react. But if you go like barking there, yeah, I'm not bothered. Right? So if somebody comes, smack your bum, trust me on this one, I'll blow the lights off.
It's war.
That's it's not war. I'll just blow the lights off. It's not war. It's discipline. It's a discipline. That's not violence, but you're disciplining somebody that they have to respect other people. People should respect other people. You can't just go around smacking everyone. No. That's too disrespectful.
Yeah.
I will react.
Would you have let your guy kill him? Because every woman really feels violated when they're touched. It's such a horrible feeling.
Yeah. I'm guessing if that was me, I would have been the one fighting. Should have turned out so differently. Because it is a violating thing. It's very violating. And I guess being now that like it's like you said, discipline has to be asserted, and someone has to show them that, look, that is not right. If your mom didn't teach you that you're not supposed to be randomly, because that is sexual assault.
It is.
If you're not supposed to be.
It is. And
you're not supposed to be violating women in public or in private, wherever it is. And of course, I would let my man discipline him in whichever way he sees fit, because that is the role of a man. And I feel like maybe the reason why your ex was really angry is because men like to play their roles, and if you take that away from them, they really feel bad. But I would let him.
Yeah, he did feel like I've taken all his power, and he just didn't know how to react. So he at that moment, for him, he was fighting two things: kill this guy, then fight with my girl later, or leave this guy and then see what happens. You could see how he was fighting those two demons. But if for me, if you ask me yes or no answer when it comes to will, I don't advocate violence in any form, in any way. I don't think it solves things. For me, what I see is somebody who was a legend, an icon, who was everything to a lot of people. Divide the globe, divide the people, because there are people who are team will, there are people who are not team will. For a person we looked, we literally grew up watching Will. And now some of us are thinking, if he couldn't control his anger. So for me, one answer, no, I don't advocate for it. I wouldn't have let him. If I was Jada at the time that he was standing up, I would have gone like, you hit him, I'm leaving. This is finished.
No, 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 no,
Really,
no,
it is
no,
finished.
no, 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 no. This is okay. Okay. When we say talk about advocating, right? It's something like promoting, right?
Yeah.
Glorifying
Mm.
violence, right?
Yeah.
But this is an instant reaction of somebody who felt that you as a man, you have crossed the line. Okay, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. My sister said she's a psychologist. She gave an example, like if you came from a family where your parents are doctors, for instance, right? When you get sick, they ask you all those questions by nature because that's their job, right? So, like most of us, at times when you go home, you carry your work with you. At times, you tend to forget that you're now home, but you still be with your job, right? So, we are talking of two stand-up comedians, both of them professionally. Will is a stand-up comedian. Chris is a stand-up comedian, right?
Right?
I
I
understand and I
understand and
know
I know
that they
that
have got some ethical conducts within the roles which
they
they
have got
do when
some
they're doing their
ethical
stand-up
conducts
comedian. There's
within
somebody who's got
the
a
roles
device which
which
is
they do
giving
when they're
feedback.
doing their stand-up comedian. There's somebody who's got a device which is giving feedback.
Yeah, there's an echo coming from somewhere.
Yeah, there's an echo coming from somewhere.
Yeah,
Is it,
yeah.
Jan,
So,
I think the echo is on your
yeah,
side. Turn
yeah,
off any device that's on.
yeah. She's going on mute. So now, I would think that surely Chris should have known, or he was supposed to be in a better position to know where to
To
draw
know
the
where to
line.
draw the line.
Jenny, can you put
Jenny, can you put
your
your
thing on here? Yeah,
Yeah, sorry, I've put you on mute again too.
yeah. So now this is where I'm failing to understand when people are saying they are advocating for violence. Abuse is with different forms, right? We have got physical abuse, we have got emotional abuse, we have got verbal abuse, right? So why can't we say Chris is verbally abused Jada? Why are we running away from this verbal abuse and trying to just think we are people we are advocating for violence? No, abuse is
For
abuse.
me, if it's not self-defense, then it's uncalled for. If it's not self-defense, because if you're going to say that times you're allowed violence and that times you're not allowed violence, then you'll be saying that even our children, that times we can hit them and that times we can't hit them. You know, you'll be saying, oh, if my child does this, that is extreme, I'm gonna hit them. You know, you'll be finding reasons as to when to use it and when to use it, and where will we be drawing that line? Where would we be saying to stop? What Chris did is nothing unusual. It's nothing unusual when it comes to awards. There's this Englishman. I follow him. He goes really nasty when giving awards because he's emceed. I don't know, like over 5 times in a row, and every year he says, "I don't care because I'm not coming back. I don't care because I'm not coming back." You know, even the first time he emceed, he was like, I don't want this job." He's literally on the platform, on the podium saying this. And they still call him the next year. And he picks on all people and everyone. And he gets really nasty, he gets really personal. Yeah. And every time they still call him back. I don't know. I'm not so sure which award it is. And I was trying to find it to remember his name. You see, he does that. But people get mad at him and nobody does anything. But this time round, unfortunately for us, it was two black men. And as the black culture has fought for that respect, we really fought to be up there. And then unfortunately, this thing is happening to two black men. You know what I mean? Jan, you've not said anything. You go on next.
Sorry for the echo earlier. Well, I agree with you. They should be a line, and I agree that is also verbal abuse. And I guess there is a term for it. I was just trying to find out what is the term for those kind of jokes. And for entertainment, they're usually allowed, where people even meet up to just insult each other as comedy. So the question, like you asked, where do we draw the line? Because there has to be a line to be drawn somewhere. And my perspective on it, like you said, probably I'll psychoanalyze. Not that I'm taking Will's side or anything. I feel like that man has been through a lot, and probably he hasn't really dealt with it. In the
True.
sense that, there's the issue where he was on, I think it's called Red Table,
Mm,
where his relationship and how they had an quote unquote entanglement with
mm,
August Alsina.
mm,
That was not, I don't think that issue was unresolved. He had a lot of cyberbullying
mm,
and all that. And from a psychological perspective,
mm,
I don't know if you guys went further to watch the rest of the Oscars. So
mm.
after that incident where he slapped him, there was an incident of him breaking down.
Yeah, yeah, he broke down.
Yes. And I have never heard of an incident of Will Smith hitting anyone or even him being that mad emotional on
Oh,
TV.
he's
Like
emotional dude. He can be.
he has been in regards to the issue with his relationship
Mm.
and all this other. So
So
I
it's
was asking myself,
organizing. You should realize that this isn't about the Oscars. This isn't about Chris. This is a lot of things he's carrying around with him. He's got a lot
yeah,
of unresolved issues from childhood, even according to his own book. Because I did watch his interview with Oprah, and on it he touches what happened to him as a child. But if you're going to psychoanalyze him, then we can't. We all have been abused. We've all gone through a lot of things.
yeah.
But we don't have to carry that with us and unleash it to the next person who annoys you, who angers you, or a person who
The,
crosses the line.
the difference is, you see, if I have gone through a lot, no one is going to put me on. I'm not on national television, so even if I overreact,
Nobody
no one is
will,
going to
yeah,
hold it against
absolutely,
me.
yeah.
Yeah, no one is going to hold it against me, but this person is constantly
Mm,
or on view. People are viewing his life.
mm,
So, and then another thing, maybe I can also use this platform to educate people. Things like that guy could probably be going through depression. So if he's
mm,
going through depression, meaning he has depression is hormonal. It's not sadness, it's not just anger. Him
mm,
himself, he probably does not understand why he hit him and does
mm,
not understand. There's that incident of mood swings, because you can't tell me in that span he was crying. In the previous few seconds ago he was angry.
but this
You
guy
see that?
has done what is it, the self actualization thing, self discovery thing. He's done all that. He's been away, was it for over a year or something? He went through all that, when he was doing the jump and stuff. So you thinking, with all that money and being able to do all that, and then he
Which
was
is
he wasn't able to.
okay.
Mm,
It is okay. Another thing people don't never understand is that, you see, like, depression is just like another illness. It
it is an
doesn't go away with a year. It doesn't go away with just medication, or if you have money. He could have 7 therapists, but it
mm,
doesn't go away just like that. There's antidepressants, there's all that. So for me,
mm,
my perspective, I would think that he has a lot to deal with. He
a
has a
lot.
lot of maybe pent up aggression or
Mm,
even depression that he's going through, that maybe needs to be addressed. Because
mm,
I agree that a man needs to stand up for their woman and to put their
mm,
feet on the ground and say, look, you can't talk to my woman like that. Look, it is not right for you to smack my woman. Because
mm.
yes, as he said, it is verbal abuse, and verbal abuse is chargeable. I don't know if you've seen people getting arrested because they abused someone on social media. People
Mm,
do that. It is abuse like any other. So
mm,
I believe there is no excuse for what Chris did,
mm.
and there's also no excuse for what Will did. But like, if we look at it deeper, there could have been different alternatives for what could have been done.
Yeah. Somebody's
Yeah.
telling Nicole Hanson, and I feel you're judging Will too harshly. A man having been given the role of a protector at times such acts occur. I'm not hailing him, hitting Chris, but I wouldn't leave my man for what we would have a conversation, but leaving him, no. Remember, card of the country. Yeah, I know, card of the country got to know when to fight, and stuff. And that's what you're trying to think. What to you would be the right time to fight wouldn't be universal. That's why I'm saying if we're left to our own devices, when will we be drawing the line? When will we be saying, no, this is a quick reaction, this can be sorted otherwise? There's somebody who gave a really nice response and was saying, they wish Will could have gone there when he found himself there already on the platform. He could have just taken the microphone and told him that what you've said is not right. Apologize to my wife now. And then if Chris refused to apologize, that's different. That's different. You know what? I'm not advocating for what Chris did, talking about somebody's condition or making. I think sometimes comedy goes a little bit too far for my liking. I always put a stop to anything. For me, whether it's banter at work or anywhere, if you tell me something that's not nice, I'll tell you that that's not nice. End of story, and we'll smile the next minute. I'll literally forget about it, but I'll tell you that and then that I didn't like it. Because I realized that years ago, I used to let things slide, but some people don't know when to stop. They could be laughing at you, maybe even your bottom, hey, you attack on your dog or something, but they don't know what memories it brings to you. They don't know what your journey has been. So
Yeah.
such jokes, I put a stop to it. We forget. Okay, so I feel like you're judging Will too harshly. Oh, maybe I am. A man having been given the role of a protector at times such acts occur. I'm not telling him by hitting Chris, but I wouldn't leave my man for that to have a conversation. Okay, did you see you're quiet?
Okay, let's create a scenario, right? And with this scenario, we want to analyze um, how and what made him react the way he reacted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the woman had a condition, right?
Mm,
Hair loss.
mm,
Right? If I'm looking at the two of you, if I want to be honest with my feelings, right? Maybe that's not your natural hair that you're wearing now. Am I correct?
no, we don't say such things.
No, 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 no.
I'm
I just wanna say, right?
joking. I was born
What I'm
like
trying, okay, what I'm trying to say is,
Mm.
97%
mm,
of women,
mm.
they believe their hair should be neat, smart.
Yeah.
You
That's
find the 3% who
yeah.
go with bald head, who shave
Yeah.
their hair. That's three
Yeah, I'll
percent.
stop you for a minute. But what you're saying is really true. Our hairs are sacred places. Like if you want to offend a woman, try the hair and a handbag. Those are
Okay, cool.
very
What do I
important.
choose?
And then
Okay,
maybe the children number three. But number one,
so
hair, handbag, children. I'm
so we
joking.
are agreeing on that, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
now we've got a woman, right,
Mm,
who has got no control
mm,
of the condition which
mm.
is going through, right?
Yeah,
Who
absolutely.
resorted in shaving off all her hair, right?
Mm,
And we've got a husband who has been behind trying to put confidence in the woman, try to make the
mm,
woman have their self-esteem back. No, babe, look,
yeah.
we are okay as you are, don't worry about it, right? Let's say,
Mm,
that's why I said I want to create a scenario here. Say, for
mm,
instance, I'm just assuming that they know about these awards. And the judge said to Will, you know what, husband, as much as I want to support you, I'm not confident enough to go to the awards. Why? Because of my condition. Then we will say, no, babes, you're okay. Don't worry. We'll go. Then said, oh, you know what? We all come from this industry. Chris is presenting, right? You know how we roll. He was gonna make fun out of me. That's not gonna sit well with me. I'm just assuming, right? I'm thinking outside the box. Then we insisted, no, babe, no, don't worry, no, he's not gonna touch you on that one. He's man enough to know things what to say and what not to say, right? Then she was convinced. She went supporting her husband and feeling that my husband is going to protect me. I've been given the assurance that no one is going to talk about my condition. Right? Dressed to kill elegantly, boom, they went. What there, Chris being Chris, right? He started by talking of G.I. Jane, the movie that Demi Moore did as a soldier, and she had to cut her hair, Then Jada, I see you're there, right? Then she talked about Jada's condition, right? And Will, by that time, when he talked about G.I. Jane movie, he was laughing about it. But the moment he said, Jada, I saw you, this is what? Jada looked at Will, right? He looked at him. The looks, looks says a lot. The eye contact said, I told you I don't want to be here, but you rest assured me that no one is going to talk about my condition. But look, he's taking a mick out of me. Because Will had assured her that no one is going to touch you. No one is going to talk about your condition. So those looks from Jada was, now, what? That's why he stood up, walked there, gave him a slap, right? This is my definition of a slap, right? To say, stop. You're becoming a nonsense. That's why even he himself, if that slap was a violent slap, he should have retaliated and fight back. But he said, oh, you slapped me, right? Then he knew he had crossed the line, right? I'm not saying violence is okay, but I'm just trying to make you see why he had reacted that way. Even if it was me, I was going to react that way. But if he had punched him 4 or 5 times now, that wasn't a discipline for me. I've got children, right? Everyone's got kids. At one point, you smack them. You're not smacking them because you don't love them. But no, you're trying to tell them, you know what? I told you to stop, or what you're doing, it's not right. They know. This is me saying, like I said from the onset, if you play around with my woman, my children, my family, I won't buy that. Deal with me, yes, I have no problem.
Yeah.
It's like say for instance, right? With these jobs, if people are saying it's fair, say suppose somebody, I drive a car, we all drive. Then you veer off the road, maybe over speeding, then you are involved in an accident, then you end up being in a wheelchair, right? Then you come to the show, then we talk about road safety. Then I say, oh, look at him. Yeah. Or look at her. She's the one who was over speeding. Yeah, you deserve it. How will you feel?
I know. You know what? For me, there's a lot. Like for you, you're seeing the whole picture of how it came about and the whole thing. I also see a whole picture of different things, and the whole picture for me includes the fact that yeah, she is struggling. It's a daily struggle, but again, it's a struggle that some people know that she can control it in some way. In some way, but I won't go there. That's not my expertise. But it can be stress induced as well. And then we see publicly the way that they've been through a lot and publicly being judged, publicly the entanglement thing, publicly they're seeing how their relationship is like, and then we know she doesn't like, she's different from Will. Will is full of ego. I'm judging it negatively, but it's something from what I've seen and his own interview. He is full of ego. Even at the time he was being interviewed, he was talking about him going on that journey because he knows he's full of ego. She doesn't like the spotlight that much. In a way, she doesn't. You see? So there's a discord somewhere in that relationship. Chris was a man with a platform, with maybe kind of a rival, kind of a a competitor, kind of, but he felt big. He's got this platform where he's emceeing. And he thought, okay, I have a chance to pick on somebody, maybe to make them feel bad. And he did. You see? But at that moment, when you're happy with yourself, when you're full, you don't let such things bring you down. When you, as a person, let's say for me, if you, like you get the example of my hair and stuff. If I'm confident, fully confident as a person, the things you tell me, or if you try to bring me down at work or wherever, it's you just hit a brick wall. Just like I was saying, when you tell me something that's not nice, I usually just tell you that, and then that's not nice. Then I move on and start laughing about other things. Yeah, that literally even happened not so long ago with a colleague. It's a long story, but it's a funny story. And then I left them in a limbo because they were expecting for it to go on, and I'm like, no, I've forgotten. And they're like, they're trying to explain. I'm thinking, no, there's nothing to explain. I already told you about what I feel about it. That's end of story. Let's focus on other things. And so they were left with the guilt because they wanted now to explain something that was already wrong, something that I didn't let go ahead, something that they thought they could get away with. They thought they can just tell me that and it's fine. But I was like, no, very clear about my boundaries. No, you don't go there. You can't tell me that. And my question was, would you have done it if it was so and so, or if it was somebody else? No. Okay. So anyway, let's move on. I don't like it. I didn't like it. You apologize. Move on. She started wanting to explain. So anyway, you've been quiet, my dear Jan. You've been quiet. Then I will go to our next question. What I wanted us to talk about next, after your input. I want us to now, who was the real victim here? Who was the real victim? That's what I want us to talk about next. From the three people.
Owning to everything I've listened to. Again, I'm usually of a very controversial opinion, but yes, I think all of those people have a lot to work on. Both Chris, Will, Jada, they all have a lot to work on. And I agree with you, Nicole, on why you said you need to tell people, like, because maybe from where you've been raised, I can say you something, I can make a joke maybe about quote unquote your handbag. But maybe in my family, we make jokes about handbags. Yeah, it's a normal occurrence. So I feel like talking would be the best thing to first do in situations like those. Like, I was even listening to the scenario that you created, and it could have happened that way, most probably, because the man usually deals with the reassurance of the woman. When a woman wakes up and they say, "Oh my God, honey, I feel ugly today," the man will be like, "Oh no, darling, you don't look ugly. You maybe even that day she asked him, should I wear a wig? Should I go this way?" So I agree with you on that part. But then I realized when I was watching that video, because it was everywhere, the video was everywhere.
I know you can't anywhere you see.
You can't run away from it. So the thing that I realized was he didn't stop talking about her when he hit her. When he hit him, he had to tell him, look, get my wife's name out of your mouth. So what if he started with talking to him? What if he said, look, I don't appreciate that. Could you stop talking about my wife? Because if hitting him was the solution, then it would have stopped it. But even after him hitting him, he had to tell him again, look, I need you to stop talking about my wife. So for me, I feel like there would have been a different approach, because Will also has been in the industry for a very long time. He has been there since Prince of Bel-Air and all those things he has
Mhm.
done, like even when he was younger. So he
Mhm.
knows what happens in the entertainment industry. He knows how people roast each other on the stage. He knows that.
Mhm.
So he should, it's the same thing, like you said, you tell someone, you need to start with communication,
Mhm.
because not everyone knows your boundaries have been crossed.
Mhm.
It's the same way when someone maybe does something to you that in their family they feel like there's usually a disconnect. You even see it in maybe interracial couples when someone gets to see a toothbrush that women brush their hair with, that normally the man would be like, what kind of madness is this? But an African man will know, this is for her ages or something.
Mhm.
But if you don't explain it to the man will just be wondering, why is your toothbrush black?
Mhm.
So I feel like communication and verbalizing boundaries, because
Mhm.
boundaries is, they're only effective if you verbalize them. You can only tell someone, this is the line to be crossed. You've crossed
Yeah.
it, and I don't want you to go further than this. But if
Yeah.
you don't verbalize it, then people think it's okay. So I feel like Will could have taken a different approach. And of course, Chris went too far, because no one's illness or disability or anything is something to be made a joke. You can make a joke about Kevin Hart, about his height or something, because he's used to it. But an illness is not something someone should maybe make a joke out of. So I don't support any of them. I think
I
all
think
of
that's
them
what
have
your point. Yeah, this is why it's really difficult for people to agree on, because the person was making fun about a medical condition. So that is really, really tricky. But again, yes, it is a medical condition. But again, a person like her, like a person who could be somebody like a mentor to a lot of women, you expect her, because she has her talk, red table talk, so she knows people look up to her. So you expect her to try and be in a very strong mental state as much as possible, so that she can deal with these things. Because if it breaks her, what about the people who look upon her? She should be in a mental state where, like, you're laughing at a condition. It's not my fault, but I love myself the way I am. I'm beautiful. I feel beautiful, and my husband thinks I'm beautiful. I don't care what the f you think about it. That's how I see it. I know you want to say something. Somebody just said people are very different, different mental space, and what provokes another may not provoke you. True, true, true. But question back to you, my dear. Question back to you. So does it mean that those people without a strong mental agility, are they allowed to just unleash it? If you get provoked in a certain way, can you just unleash it because you're not in the same mental space like the next person? That's just a question to you. Okay, did you say? Go ahead, dear.
No, but you see, um, what- okay, this is me, right? I think when he said, "Get my wife's name out of your mouth,"
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Because it's not the first time Chris had gone Jada Pinkett. This was now the fourth time. If you check the record of Chris with Jada,
Isn't that what
right?
Jan is saying? That boundaries should be articulated. That's why it needed to be done. The first time it happened is the first time should have been stopped.
Okay, okay. This is what
Don't do that. I don't like it. Don't do it ever again.
no,
Finish.
this where I'm coming, right?
Mm.
So at times you would think this is just a joke, but if a joke becomes too much, it's no longer a joke, right?
No, no,
So
usually not.
first time maybe let it slide.
Mm.
Second time you say okay, I let you slide first time. Okay, second
Mm.
time I said okay, this is
Mm.
now has to stop. We didn't say about it. Third time, now this time he was really really pushed off to the
Mm.
edge. That's why he slapped him. And when he was sitting, said, "Take off my wife's word in your mouth."
Mm.
Because he had been doing this for a very long time.
That's exactly what you're saying. That's why we know that jokes sometimes they, out of the bad about the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Sometimes they come from a place of, you know, it could be insecurity, it could be jealousy, it could be anything. It could be trying to send you a message. So the first time it happens, that's why we say the first time it happens, you need to put, and this is very important to anybody out there, be it at work or anywhere. If somebody jokes about something you don't like, don't take it as a joke. It's not, most of the time, it's probably isn't. Anything that is at your expense, any joke that is at your expense should be stopped there and then. Don't let it, don't laugh. You know, like, you know
Okay.
what, we laughed the first time. We laughed first. And even Jada, I think she kind of almost laughed. You know, like, okay, I don't know whether they were laughing at the previous joke or anything, but at first you think that, okay, this was a little bit funny, you know, but realizing, no, actually, in Kiswahili lazima, actually metukanwa. You know, you realize somebody joked at something and then you realize, oh, actually, yeah, you know what I mean? What's the English word of kutukanwa?
Right. I've got a question that I want to ask.
Mm.
Right. Because I think, me looking at this, say if Jada and Will, they didn't do the round table where they talked about their personal lives, right? Then it had happened what had happened that day. Were people going to bring in all these things? Or if, say, suppose, was Denzel Washington, right, slapping Chris, he has never said about his personal life and everything. Don't you think people are not going to bring that? Oh, because Jada cheated on Will. Oh, because Will is going through this because of that. Can we not focus? Let's talk about what happened there and forget about what they said before. What would be your take on that? If we are going to only to narrow ourselves, if we are going to put, okay, if we are going to put blinkers like a horse, just to say, okay, a tunnel vision narrowing, you're going to that we want to focus on that 1 minute
incident.
on that incident. 1 minute slap, right? What do you think people were going to talk about?
For me, for that particular incident, I just saw a woman who had been made fun of. She didn't like it. She looked up to her husband for protection, for reassurance. The husband used that moment to the ego took over him. Instead of using that moment to tell her it's okay, or let's get out of here, or go and approach the person that it's bad, he let the ego get over him. And so he went, maybe in his head, he thought, let me go and approach him and tell him I didn't like. Maybe in his head, that's what he was thinking. But as the closer he got to the culprit, the angrier he became. So the message between husband and wife wasn't, it wasn't received well. The message sent and the message received were like, okay, you want me to protect you? Let me show the whole world that I love you and I can protect you. You know, ego playing. So this man went and hit another man. And for me, this other man, whatever people say, I don't care. This other man, with all his faults, with all taking advantage of being on the platform, on a higher platform than the other, what he did was wrong. But how he reacted, I give him 10 out of 10. Whether people, I don't know what people think or no, but to me, he could have hit back. Because natural reaction when you're hit is hit back. Female, male, child, whatever. You see, even children, when you hit them, sometimes they want to hit you back because that's a natural. Even try and hit a cat. They'll try. It's a natural reaction. For him to absorb that shock and just let it go, because that would have been more. That was what would we now? That could have been more. Jan, you've been quiet.
Well, I'm just taking in all of this and I'm just thinking about it. And like you've said, tunnel vision, I'm still on the same thing. They all have a lot of work to do. Individually, personally, they still have a lot of work to do. What I see is a person who does not have control over what he's saying. Another person I'm seeing is a person who does not have control over his actions. And another woman who feels insulted. And like you said, she has control over him. She could have told him, look, just calm down. Like, this can be resolved in other ways. You know, that is what I think. And for me, I prefer
really that really damage people. To damage people at the wrong time, in the wrong place at the wrong time. And unfortunately, something happened during that. Somebody picked at the vulnerability at the wrong time and managed to break them in front of people. Because
Yeah,
if she was really, yeah, you go on, go on.
because I'm thinking, um, none of those actions of any two of them, because now it's the man and the man. None of those actions makes anyone look good. It doesn't prove anything. It doesn't change anything, because people are saying that Chris can sue him because that was like assault
It
at the
still
end of the
can.
day.
But the good thing
Yeah,
that they did apologize, which we will talk about, they did apologize to each other, because at the end of the day, everybody witness an abuse. He's a
yeah.
comedian who was on a platform. If they want to sue back under whatever grounds, but at that moment, he did have an upper hand. Somebody's written. Oh, by the way, hello everyone. We've just been immersed in that discussion. As much as Jada might be looked up as a role model, she is still human. As women, we are really particular about how we look, and for someone to come about and negative to talk about you due to your look and worst of anything you have no control over can really affect someone. Yeah, maybe I have hard skin. I do acknowledge that. Maybe I do. Maybe it's my environment that caused for me to be who I am. But I just learned not to let things in. I just learned that they just kind of bounce back. Because if you let things in, I don't know. You just have to have some thick skin to survive this world. And for me, maybe I had lots of events that helped me be who I am. And so yeah, she's a vulnerable here, very raw as well about that. So you only hit back when you're innocent, but what was he to hit back about? And okay, yeah, most of the time you want to defend yourself. Somebody hits you whether you're right or wrong. At that time, you're like, no, you hit me. I want to show. But I don't know. I believe Will knows the kind of struggle Jada goes through. Absolutely. Through behind closed doors, it's a daily struggle. I absolutely agree with that. When it comes to a condition that we, the outsiders, may not be aware of, that's what pushed him to react the way he did. That could be really, really, really true. They know their daily struggles. He's the one who wakes up with a wife who is unsure of herself every day and stuff. Absolutely agree with that. So but again, I still just think that, again, for them, like celeb, somebody said she's a role model, but she's a human. When you put yourself in that situation, when you get there, and because they've been in showbiz for a long time, you would imagine that you get to learn, how to protect yourself from the outside world. But so,
No, no, Nicole, hold on, one
oh,
second. So I
okay.
like what Jenny. I can't remember what she said about this role model thing, um, about feelings and whatever. Guys, I think this should be a learning curve to everyone. Being a role model doesn't mean say that you've got nerves of steel. You're still a human being. You function. You got the tail to shit. You eat like everyone else, right? Like what she said, if it watched the whole episode when we received this award, he break down and he said, me being here as a role model, I endured a lot of pain, abuse, everything, but I try to bottle it in because I want that image of saying a role model. How many suicides that you've witnessed of people that you look upon as role models, and people say, oh, why didn't they talk? When they talk, Will Smith broke down. People, they call him a meme. Jay-Z, what's his name? The Kanye broke down. They call him a meme. You rather break down and people hear you than to be a memory to people, right? So let's check this thing of saying role models or these celebrities, they don't feel the pain. No, that's why they commit suicide, because they don't even want to talk to. We think they've got nerves or still. No, they don't have. He's just human like everyone else.
Yeah. To be
He's
fair,
human.
you know what? To be fair, in after all has been said and done, she did carry herself well. She was really hurt. She was absolutely hurt. She did carry what Will did is not her responsibility. Even though they're husband and wife, it's not her responsibility. That's why I came to this question: who was the real victim here? That's why I really wanted to your views on this. Who was the real victim here? Go on, Jan. Jan, I'll let you go first.
Okay. There's a question you asked that I wanted to address. You asked that, I wrote it down, sorry. What do are people with mental health problems allowed to act just the way they want? You asked that earlier on, and I just wanted to address that in the sense that, because I'm a
I will
psychologist,
defend
so I'm
myself
always
on that because I'm also big on mental health. So when it comes to
yeah.
deep mental health issues, people in pain don't really know what they're doing. The people in pain sometimes, what they do sometimes is just trying to kill that pain. They do things that they think that they want to. It will help with killing that pain. So when it comes to real, if we use mental health as an excuse for this, then I'll change my view.
No, I'm not using it
In
as an
that way.
excuse. I'm just trying to explain, because as
Yeah,
as
yeah,
um
yeah.
as he has said,
Mm,
that these things are very there. They're very much, he's highlighted that these things happen on a day-to-day basis, where you find celebrities being bashed, and because you might find that Chris and Will are okay, but the world is still discussing it. You
mm,
get, or incidents where people commit suicide and all that. So I'm not using this as an excuse, but I'd like for people to just think about it. Maybe it's a question to pose to the audience. If a person who is sick um um
yeah.
excretes waste on themselves, for lack of a better word, if a person who is sick shits on themselves, you will excuse that person who is sick, right? You will say, oh, they're sick, their bladder is not functioning, or maybe this and this is what they're going through, so we excuse it. It's like a different scenario where people say, if your leg is broken, no one is going to ask you, you're still in bed and your leg is broken. It's the same when you compare it to depression. People ask you, oh, you're still in bed, you should be at work. It's just depression, get over it. But they don't ask the same question to someone with a broken leg.
Mm,
So my pose to them is, as we're saying, we cannot excuse him because if he acted as the way he did.
mm,
But what if, but we don't know if he's suffering mental illness or not. And I'm
mm,
just answering, I'm not excusing Will, I'm just answering the question that you asked. Are
mm,
people with mental illnesses or issues allowed to just act? No, they're not. And most of the time they can't control it, and
mm.
it's because it's just happening to them. It's like a person who is sick
Yeah,
shitting on themselves. They
crying out
can't
loud
control it.
sometimes. Sometimes, let's say if he has a mental illness, if it's something that he's
Yeah.
struggling with, this could be maybe a
And
wake
it,
up call to finally get a lifelong help to really come out of it. This could be like, how did, because his mom said he's not violent. He's not a violent person. He's not an aggressive person. If he was, he wouldn't have gotten away with it for all those
exactly.
years. He is not. But everything was wrong at that when you
Yeah.
just think the universe is again is still like telling you, whoa, 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 whoa. So maybe he's vibrating low and stuff. It happened all at the same time. So he's
Mhm.
not a bad person. Absolutely not. He's not a bad person. So yeah, go on, my dear.
And that just points out to say that he probably might be going through a mental illness. And
Mm,
unlike people water down mental illnesses, I think even a broken leg heals faster than mental illnesses, because it happens in your brain. It takes longer. It can take years and years and years. So yeah, you asked a question, who is the victim?
yeah.
I'm not really sure I can mention a victim. I feel like
Pick out a
ev-
victim. Did you see who is the
Jada is
victim?
Jada is the victim. At the end of the day, Jada is the victim because Jada is the one who was insulted.
Mm,
This was about her. She
yeah.
is the victim at the end of the day, not Chris, not Will. Jada is the victim at the end of the day, because
And the second
this were
victim.
directly it was directly involving her. It was directly mentioning her. She is the direct victim. Chris was receiving the consequences of his actions.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you see?
Nice one. That's a very nice, tricky question. But I will say they are both victims, the three of them. Right.
Mhm.
Why I'll say they're both victims is
Mm.
one, Chris is a victim of his work. He was victimized
Mm.
because that's his job. All right.
Mm. Mm.
To crack jokes. No, I'm talking of now why he was victimized because that's his job. He became a victim. That's why he was
To be
slapped.
honest, there are some people who have made worse jokes on such
I'm
platforms. He was just at work, but he
just
didn't
saying.
even know when to stop himself.
You ask me about
Well,
victims now. I will say now, when I want to look at the victim now,
mm.
it's him. Why? Because
Oh,
he was
okay.
victimized
Mm-hmm.
because he
Mm.
cracked the joke. That's his job,
Mm.
which now makes him a victim because he doesn't know what to do next. What is he going to say? So he becomes a victim.
Mm-hmm.
Jada Pinkett, she was a victim in this because she has got a condition
Mm.
which she cannot control, right? Because she
Mm.
she is the victim. Will Smith is a victim in this. Why now? Because everyone they want Will Smith's head off. Why did you do it? You should have done better. But because of his instant chemical reaction,
Mm.
which led him to do what he's never done in the entire life. I think it's 50.
Mm.
Yeah, is it 54, 50, 54, something like that? Maybe, I think
Well,
it's 2 years older than me.
he is of good
Yeah.
age.
So both of them, I will say they are victims in this. Best
Okay.
if we are trying to wrap up the whole scenario, how it evolved,
Mm.
how it ended up, what made this, they become all victims in that kind of a situation. Because others will be saying, like what
Yeah.
I've said, others will be saying. So me personally, I'll say they are all victims.
I know we were trying to, take off the speculation in regards to the whole what cooked the pot, what made the soup boil and stuff, and but like in Will's book, he has mentioned about him witnessing his mom being beaten. And he's in his book, I think he was 8 when there's a time his dad really beat his mom, and he was really hopeless. So for him to have survived all his career being a good role model to a lot of people, yeah, kudos to him to have tried that. But that little child always comes out at some point, that little child that was hopeless, that couldn't protect that mom, if it's not been dealt with, if it's not been addressed, and then maybe the way he talked about it in his book, maybe it brought back all these memories and he didn't handle them. So yeah, with all his money, I would wish him to sort himself out so that he doesn't have another outburst. With all his money, I would hope that the right people can be in touch with him so that we don't have more incidents like that. Because at the end of the day, if our children are watching that, they're seeing two black men, you know, two black men who have become celebs. They've had these platforms that their fathers fought for. Just a person like Denzel, for him to be celebrated, it took so much hard work. Nowadays, at least a lot of those barriers have been taken out. And then just bringing the whole community down in that incident, because people are going to talk about it. People are going to see it as two black men. People are not going to see it as anything else. And they already are. They already are.
No, but this has got nothing to do with color. Come on. It does,
Absolutely. But at the
no,
end of
you
the day,
know, this is where
okay,
we
let's
get.
do this. Do you think if Chris was somebody else, this comedian, I really need to remember his name. He's an English comedian. He goes way, way beyond people. He made fun of who is this? And he was like, are you here with your daughter? And that was his wife, because he's much older and people know he dates younger girls. He said that in front of people, and this guy, A-list actor, the top of the cream, just swallowed it. He's made fun of. He's really pushed it before. So if it was him, do you think Will would have acted? Would he have stopped himself and said, "No way, you're not going to hit a white man in front of everybody"? Would he have done that? Would he have stopped himself?
No,
You think he could have
this is
still done it?
no, this is me, my thinking, right?
Yeah.
I think the moment we try to pull the race card, right, it has changed the whole dimension,
Yes,
right?
very.
Because when you look at it, let's talk about these stand-up comedians, right? The Americans themselves, the Wills, the Kevin, the Kevin Hart, the whoever, you know, those comedians, they rightfully talk and laugh when they refer themselves as niggers, right?
Yeah.
But if a white person says to them, "You're a nigger," it becomes something else. Why is it like that? Why is it like that? Let's just say these two gentlemen, the other gentleman slapped the other gentleman, period. We mustn't put color in this. Because otherwise, if we're going to do that, I mean, for me, to be honest, I don't see this relevance of trying to make it look different because it was done by someone. That's why you see this law doesn't apply to every gender, right? The same law, right? So let's give you an example. The same law. Jenny talked about sexual harassment, right? Jenny, do you know if you go out and stand by the roadside and you smack my bum, me, you don't know me, you smack my bum, like what that guy did to her in the pub, you smack my bum, then I go to the police and they'll report that, oh, that woman smacked my bum. What do you think the policemen or the police officers would say to me? Do you think they'll arrest you?
No, they won't because of the
Most of the
bias.
time they don't see- yeah, that's the bias of the and that's what people are fighting. It's changing now.
It does
That's
not
what
mean
Hold
it's right,
mm.
but
Hold on.
It's
but
still
they
an
Right.
wouldn't
abuse.
arrest.
Right. They don't arrest you. They'll laugh at me. Oh, man, can't you? Are you not happy that the woman time you smacked your bum? Right. But if we're gonna reverse the situation, I'll smack your bum. You go and report. I'll be arrested for sexual harassment. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But in the same law, we have committed the same offense. But the other person gets away with it. Right. So this is what I'm just trying to say. If you want to put it because two black men slept each other, wow, yes, it goes out of proportion. Because now we are why? Oh. So why do
Okay, you
people?
know what?
Why
And
do
just to
people?
say, at the end of the day,
Well,
when people are role models, sorry, John, go on.
I think he misunderstood you, but you get at the end of the day, you wouldn't think, oh, two black men slapping each other. But for others of other different cultures, like it has been known, people say, oh, black people are aggressive. That is how it's gonna come off as. She's
Yeah,
not saying that she's saying it's a problem because they're black. She's saying it comes across as that. It's the same
it's
way
like you have to one step
when
back
you're
away.
shouting.
Yeah,
Yeah. If for
we have
instance, if you shout, sorry, if I, for instance, it's like when a woman is shouting, they will say she's crazy. So it comes back to the connotation of black people are aggressive. She's not saying that
absolutely.
it's an excuse or it's going to be a big deal, but it comes across that way because it's
Yeah,
a cultural thing that people have the idea to assume. It's the same
yeah,
thing. Like, yeah,
Thank you. You say people, it's a cultural thing. People
it's
with an idea to assume. So we need to unchain. We need to change because we need people to learn
that
to
narrative.
undo things. When you learn something, you can undo
you
it.
unlearn.
All right. Yeah. So this cultural thing of people assume. Have you ever noticed? Okay, have you ever noticed that, like, if you're at work, right? Say, suppose we are now using this rest thing. If a white person approaches me at work talking to me, right? They will speak slowly as if I don't understand what they're saying. Or they'll say,
I
I
know
am saying, come on.
Yeah,
Just speak normal. I can hear you. They've got this mindset of thing. Oh, because
and
he's
then
black.
this other see when two black people are talking to each other, not necessarily black Americans, like you're from Zimbabwe and from Kenya, they'll naturally assume that you're speaking a language and they'll be like, speak English. And they're like, you're speaking English. She's from bloody Zimbabwe. I'm from bloody Kenya.
You see now. So
Before you've spoken, before they've even listened to you, they've not listened in. They just assume because you're Africans, you're speaking your language. Like,
exactly.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your next question?
Yeah, no, that I just wanted us to understand about the role models. As role models, unfortunately, when you're in such a position like those two, unfortunately for them, they hold the responsibility of trying to be their best selves at all times. Unfortunately, that it comes with the role. It just comes with that. With more power comes great responsibility or something like that. So it takes a long time to build a career like his, and you can see it can easily be crushed. You mentioned Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart also got cancelled as not so long ago. It's so easy to just make one thing and then just ruin a whole career because of that, you know. And then again, even though we've seen them as two black people and having the generation working hard to get to that point, but again, you have to remember that the blackness probably worked in their favor in this instance, because if in this instance it did, because it was the Oscars. If it was involving a different color, they could have probably stopped the occasion for them. But you know, they had to think very fast. What do we do? If we stop it, they'll say we stop it because they were black. Shall we continue? Shall we stop it? If we stop it, they'll say we did it because we knew Will will win because he was gonna win an Oscar. So you know, some of those things that you don't know whether the gods are making jokes or having a laugh, or the gods are, you don't know. Anyway, so Jan, did you have anything else to say? I was wondering before we go to our.
Before we go to?
Did you have anything else to say before?
No. I'm okay. I've addressed what I wanted to say.
You said what you
before you what, you didn't say anything. She asked you, did you, before you say what do you want to say? You want to finish the show?
And any questions from our audience? Do you have any questions or something you'd like us to talk about before? We're not really totally ending, but it will be coming to. We've really spoken. Oh my God.
Okay. What I will say, me personally, right? I'm not talking of this incident of the Will Smith and everything, right? But what I'm trying to say is, if you're a woman, you're in love with your man, right? And if your man doesn't protect you, if your man doesn't stand up for you, my dear sister, you're loving yourself. You're in love with yourself. It's just as good as 12 midnight or 1 in the morning, you're fast asleep, then you hear a knock at the door. We're supposed to go to the door.
Okay, because we're Africans here, you know, we're gonna say the dude. I'm gonna push
no.
us to wake up.
No. It's not about the Africans. No, it's not about the Africans. That's the reality of life. That's the job of a man. Even in the animal kingdom, the head stays behind or lead the pack. That's the role of a man. So, my sisters, assess your man. If your man doesn't stand up for you, and let every Tom and Jerry comes and run around and do whatever they want to do with you. No. It's not supposed to be like that. A man should be a protector. A man should be a protector of the family and his wife and the children.
My male energy will protect myself to begin with. And my first, I'll be like, oh, no, don't do that. I'm not going to fight because I don't like fighting. My fighting is a long story that I won't get into. Why I
so you used to fight?
I can't. If you fought, we finished. Like, I don't know. Maybe we can salvage it. Or I don't know. But if I don't know, salvage it or something. But at the time when you're fighting, and just look at you as a different creature. to me, the way I see you, I see a totally different person, and it just brings all these bad memories that I don't like. It just brings something I knew that I don't like, and I can't change that later into something warm to cuddle. I'll just see that person that is. So
Right. That gives another question, right? Regarding to this, because I've seen people saying, "Oh, um, run with your life because he slapped Chris Rock. He's an abusive man. He might do this." So I'm wondering, Mike Tyson was a boxer, Evander Holyfield, Mayweather, the Kloshnov. We've got so many boxers, and these guys are married. So are we to say these women, they're running with
I
their
respect
lives?
the women who find
Or,
them attractive. I respect
hmm?
the women who find them attractive and are with them. For me, like I'm like, I don't watch. I've never watched wrestling. I don't watch wrestling. I don't watch war things. I don't watch those things. I can't. I can't. So any woman who likes Mike Tyson and is in bed with Mike Tyson, good job to you. For me, I don't know. But he doesn't just go fighting. That's the thing with professional boxing. It's fighting and stuff. It's different. They're taught how to control it. They're taught how to manage it and stuff. But still, you as a person, can you change and know that outside the ring, you don't have to hit anybody. And if you're gonna hit at somebody, you know the chances of hurting them is so high. So can you control that you as a person? And then I won't come and watch your matches. Simple as that. I won't come and watch them because we don't need food on the table from you hurting somebody else. It causes permanent damages. Some people don't come out of it the same. So can we find food in other ways that are that is gentler to the animal kingdom and the mother universe at large? I saw you writing something, Jan. Go on, go on, go on.
Um, I want to talk about the things he's mentioned about the memes, where the jokes that people have been making about how they cannot date a man who, because if he hits him, they should run. I'd just like to educate the people that there's a difference between signs of aggression and there's the defending bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Self-defense.
Yeah,
You're such a, you're,
there's
you're such a
whereby
darling. You're
there's
such a
whereby
darling. God.
there is whereby a person is generally just aggressive, and
Mm,
even in how they talk, the way
mm,
they carry themselves, you can tell when a man is aggressive.
full
And
of
then there is the gentleman who has been constantly pushed to the edge.
mm,
Yeah, so there's people should just learn to know there's that difference of aggression and defensive,
yeah.
because of course, even as a man, I think men, the they always love to assert their position. So if I'm a man and someone is talking bad to my wife, not even for my wife, but for me as a man, quote unquote, I
Mm,
will go there and assert my position as the man in that woman's life. So I think it's important for
mm,
people to learn the difference, because as we've said, as we've analyzed, that Will does not have signs of, like, he's not naturally aggressive.
mm,
So if he's not naturally aggressive, then meaning this was the one time he flipped.
mm,
So that it's not an excuse, but it's there is the one time it slips. And then if the aggression also, because you can ask yourself, look, if he's addressing this aggression to these people, at it what time will it be addressed to me? Will it be directed towards me as a woman in his life? Will one day when he flip, will it be me he's
mm,
hitting? You can always tell those things by when you're in conflict with your man
mm,
and how he reacts. Does he raise the voice at you? Does he almost slap you? You know, those are
mm,
the things that can tell you, look, you need to walk. Does he hit other women? Is he constantly fighting? What does he do when he's angry? That is when you can say, okay, this is an aggressive man. But it's like your purse is being robbed and your man is standing there. You have, like he said, you have reasons to worry. You have to ask yourself, huh? Because that will be the man who, for me, I'm not excusing Will, but I cannot be friends with the man who, for instance, we're seated in a group and one of his male friends insult me and he laughs about it. I would want him
And
to
then laughing,
speak
oh
up.
my God.
Yeah, of course I wouldn't want him to punch him, but I would prefer if he'd said something about it. He said, "No, you can't talk to my wife like that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if you do that, I will hit you," which is excusable. That is okay. But like there has to be a balance. And then another thing I wanted to mention about the jokes, social media is just, I feel like we need to do better as a community in the sense that we ruin these people's lives more than anything because we are constantly bashing them. Like they can't make a mistake. They're always held to
mm,
a certain high pedestal that they can't fall off. Like they're robots. They should
that's,
function. Even robots break down. So I feel like it's just a high standard that doesn't need to
yeah,
be kept always, and these people are human beings and they should be treated as so.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes we hold so much high expectations on them, and they're human beings,
Mhm.
and we can't do it ourselves. We want them to
Yeah,
be like perfect at all times, some things we can't do.
so
Okay,
true.
so somebody said that's very true. We should react the first time. Oh, I think they meant you shouldn't or something. I wanted to find the comments that were written before, but I can't seem to find them. I can now. So, anybody else has anything else to say as we? Oh, okay. I think I might have found it. So somebody said at first I thought this was. Oh, I think they were just joking about the whole incident. So, oh, okay. This one mostly. I don't know whether people can see that. What was that? The
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, that was really, that's how the society has become. Have you seen it? That's what we've
Yeah, I
become.
have seen it.
Yeah, that's what we've become, where we always find a way to make the victim feel even bad about themselves, and it's so wrong. She's a human being. At the end of the day, she might be a celeb, she might have all the money in the world or whatever, but at the end of the day, she's a human being, and that is really, really wrong. We shouldn't do these sad things. I don't know how somebody wakes up and does sad things. I wouldn't want to be associated with such a person. So somebody
Yeah, that
did
one
wrong.
deserves the slap.
Eh? That one does this.
That
Okay,
one deserves a
I know
slap.
I'm being
Honestly,
hypocritical.
honestly.
That
Because
one,
surely, how do
and
you sit
they
down
took
to
time to
do
make
all
that.
that work?
They took
That
time to
You
make
guys,
probably took that took them a long time to make. They should do something better with their lives, surely.
this is so
guys,
wrong.
I've got a question that I want to ask. You guys are from, both of you are from Kenya, right?
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I am from Kenya, yes.
I don't know. Maybe since they've mentioned about social media, is your people is toxic on social media? Is my people from Zimbabwe? Are they?
Mhm.
They are. They are probably even worse. Kenyans are toxic.
No, 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 no,
Right.
They
no.
are.
Ah, cha, cha.
Twitter is a bad place if you're a Kenyan. You cannot go. It's like a no-go zone.
I don't
It's
even go
they
to
usually say Twitter is not for the weak in Kenya. You don't go there. You can post even the most heartfelt thing, but someone will find a joke out of it or
Twitter.
and the jokes are insults. They're not just jokes. It's brutal.
But
Very
Somebody said
don't
was
you?
that.
But don't you think the purpose of social media was to empower each other, to encourage each other, I mean, to motivate, to support, come up with brilliant ideas, put them together, and work collectively. Because, like what you've said with that, with what Nicole has shown us, you've said
Mm.
it takes someone time to come up with all those stupid things. Can they not reserve their energy to do something better than trying to pull someone down? To be honest,
It's
I don't
sad.
know. But
It's absolutely sad. So Hadija did right. At first, I thought this Will is a man enough to just whisper to Chris to keep it low on the job. Then, boom, the slap. I felt he did not have to do that. I hate violence more than anything, as much as it seems so sweet to get defended by Sweetie while Wild is watching. He didn't have to stoop low, but I think he has issues. Chris handled it the way I would have. Yeah. That's the only one I'm seeing right now, but I did see some of the comments. That's the only one I'm finding right now. So yeah, uh, somebody else also has my view that, you know what, I think the person who needs to be slapped are people like this now who live their life bringing people down. Yes, Chris was trying to bring Jada down, but him he's used comedy to cover up to cover something evil, which is never the right thing. So, Asante Nisana, thank you guys. I don't know whether there's something that we've not spoken about today, or if there's anything we needed to add today. But yes, I like to be defended by my man. I would love a macho man. I would love a man who defends me and tells somebody, like, threaten somebody. The person will just look at him and like that, and they know this is not to be messed with. But for you to, if it's self-defense, then yes, that's where we're saying when to draw the lines is so difficult. But I wouldn't want to see that aggressive side of you. It brings about things that I don't like imagining somebody being. So yeah, it's nice to be defended, and it's nice that a lot of men feel like, yeah, I want to defend my man. So yes, good job, African men, if you feel like it's still your job to defend your women. Thank you. I know we've become too tough, independent. We also
it's
should
it's
defend
it,
ourselves.
it, it, it's our job to defend our women because our women loves us. We love our women, so it's everyone's men, regardless where you come from, your race, whatever. It's your job to defend your
Yeah.
woman because if you want to go biblically, the woman came from your rib, so that's your job. She
Mm,
is you. You have to protect them. That's
mm.
what I can say. So
Now,
thanks for
even in
having
the
this.
Bible, there was some kind of like wars, there were some battles, there was some fighting here and there. Sometimes people had to defend their properties and stuff. So you can understand why men react the way they do. It's just that natural instinct that I've taught them, you know what? It's my job to
Yeah.
do this. Yeah. So, yeah, go on, dear.
I wanted to add one last thing. You asked me what I was writing. I was writing my what I'd like the audience to take home today is that boundaries are important and you are responsible for your own boundaries. So if I'm your friend and I say I don't want someone to step on my toes, don't step on my shoes. So at the end of the day, it is my responsibility to make sure that this person does not step on my toes. It's not their responsibility to follow up and say, me, I won't step on their toes because they said I wouldn't step on their toes.
Mm,
Boundaries are your responsibilities, and
mm,
you have to speak them out first before you
mm,
act
mm,
and assert your boundaries. Say, I don't like this. If someone insults you, say, I don't like that. I don't appreciate it. Kindly do not go on about that. It does not make me happy. Express yourself. Boundaries are very, very important, and they're important in your family, with your friends, because I'm sure Chris and Will were friends before that.
mm,
And maybe he didn't assert his boundaries earlier on, but it is important to assert your boundaries. Tell people how you feel. Immediately they insult you, just let them know this is something I don't like. I'd
mm,
prefer if you don't continue. And you take responsibility for your boundaries by walking away from people who constantly, not even constantly, people who do not respect your boundaries, because it's up to you to walk away. Because, like Nicole said, those people, some people don't even know their limits. They don't have limits. They will constantly insult you, abuse you. They will not know when to stop. So you
mm,
have to take up the responsibilities for your boundaries by first making them, asserting them, and
mm.
walking away when it's not being given. Yeah, that's all I have to say. And thank you, Nicole, for having me
Wow.
here. today.
is absolutely cute. That is absolutely what you stand for on this platform, because we're trying to empower people, we're trying to teach people, and we're trying to help people go to the next level. And for you to go to the next level, you can't dwell on the past, you can't dwell on stagnation, you can't dwell on the now. You have to see things on the bigger picture, the vision and stuff. These are people who have made their life. The people we're talking about today, they don't even care about our conversation today. They're up there, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're up there, so they don't even care about carrying themselves well. When you're a young actor and you're still trying to get into the market, it matters how you carry yourself. It matters. But Will has nobody to apologize to. He feels like he's on top of the world. I think so far he's still the only actor who's ever done a solo movie or something, like just one person. So he just feels like he's on top of the world. There's no, he's unbogable, like we say. There's nothing that really frightens him. But unfortunately, maybe this is just, somebody said it could be acting. Yeah, maybe they're just actors and stuff. So yeah. So thank you. I think we've lost Jana for a minute. Jan for a minute. Thank you guys for being here with us. We really appreciate it. Thank you, DDC. Thank you, Jan, for your time. Thank you, everybody who has been here to work with us. We love you. Thank you for the comments and everything. We really appreciate you. If there's anything we've not tackled, free to ask, use the comment, and we can continue the discussion. There's always a lot to learn from other people. Yeah, in Swahili we say mwenzako akinyolewa chako kitie maji. Yeah, so if you see somebody else head being, you know, kunyolewa ndo
Being shaved.
being shaved. Go and put water on you, go and pour water
Get
on you
ready.
and save yourself from the shaving. So always learn from other people where you come. Yeah.
I don't know that one in Swahili, and I don't know it in Shona anyway. But whatever you've said, it makes sense.
Yeah, okay, whatever I said. I'm just saying, always be safe and learn from others. When you see something happening to the next person, be careful. The next time it could be at your doorstep. So
Could be you.
yeah, so that's why we
Okay.
try to learn from others as much as possible. I think I've used this.
Karibu.
Karibu sana, and asante sana for your time, DDC.
Don't
Tatenda.
worry.
Oh, Tatenda is gone.
Yeah, it's attendance means thank you.
Thank you to even yeah, Tatenda. God bless you, and God bless you, Jan. Yeah, thank you for your
Bless
time.
you too.
Yeah.
Right, nice meeting you, Jen. Nice.
Yeah.
Nicole.
Getting
Keep,
lost. I'll be looking for you again very soon.
yeah, keep the good way, guys.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Sarah.